Welcome to another episode of Angels, Positivity and Love. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights. They've often been through some sort of transformative journey and they decided to give service to others. They're helping others. They could be a New York Times bestseller. Most often, they're healers of some sort, intuitives, guides for us all to live a better life, to walk a smoother path. But we've also had like a White House physician to the US president. We've had another doctor who runs not refugee camps in 7 countries around the world at any one time, but more relief efforts after a hurricane, if it's a tsunami, you name it. She's won the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award and the Order of Australia. We've had a very diverse group of people from about 25 countries. And just to let everybody know, we're booked to probably the end of October of 2025. I have just one of the most amazing psychic mediums, intuitives. She does tons of events. She's often booked herself 2 years out. Karen Noé is coming to us from New Jersey, my old stomping grounds in the New York City metropolitan area. Karen and I have had a chance to speak before. She's the real McCoy. She's, again, been highly visible at a lot of events and with her works, her decks, her books, and so on. So, Karen, great to see you again. Thank you for being on Angels Positivity.
Thank you for having me on.
Look, you've done this now for a long time. You've settled into a very good, I don't want to say the word routine, but that's the only word I can think of helping a lot of people, whether in groups, workshops, individually. Can you talk to us just about your trajectory, where you are at today, but how are you trying to keep this fresh, new, and fun for you personally?
For me personally, well, recently I've been doing retreats. So I just got back from Costa Rica. They flew me there for my retreat that I'm having next February 23rd. I only have one cabin left. Everything else is already sold out, but it's amazing. It makes me feel, I don't know, they had a happiness activation course. It sounds silly, but boy, I came home, I was so happy. Maybe because I was in Costa Rica. I don't know, but it was great.
I love it. When did this start for you? Was it like age 5 you started to pay attention, and then did you run from it for a little bit, and when did you embrace it fully?
I was always psychic. I would have dreams. I would dream things before they happened. My father used to take me to the racetrack and I'd pick the winning horses for him. But now I am an animal activist, so I don't go to the track. Um, People would say, like my friends when I was younger, that I'd freak them out. I would know things before they happened and so forth. But about 25 years ago, I was going through a difficult time in my life. And I just sat at the edge of my bed and I yelled at God and I said, am I going to be okay? And with that, I saw a light that came towards me from the other side of the room. And as it was coming towards me, I said, if you're not of God, please leave. Now, I know years later that everything is of God, but at that time I meant, if you're not of love and light, positivity and all that, please leave. But it continued to come towards me and eventually enveloped me. And at that time, I heard an audible voice that said, Lucha Lucina, Bella Lucha Lucina. I don't know if you know what that means. It's Italian. It means light, little light, beautiful little light. And I have since learned it was St. Francis of Assisi, who's been guiding and protecting me ever since. And right after that experience, I started receiving messages from deceased loved ones and the angels. And I was so shy at the time, very shy. I didn't want to do this, but it caught on. I would be on the soccer field when my children were playing soccer and somebody's Aunt Mabel was coming through and I'd say, I'm sorry, but do you know somebody named Mabel? You know, and that kind of thing. And then word spread. And then I started doing this. Long story short, there are many things that happened in between, such as connecting with Wayne Dyer and his family.
And if we're lucky later, we'll have you just connect with a few angels for us on air. Maybe you'll do the lit sage thing. And even
Okay.
St. Francis and Audrey Hepburn, if I can remember this, or we'll jointly remember it. Okay, what has been one of the learning curves for you early on? Was it the business side of this, or being able to say no, or helping yourself stay
Being
intact?
able to say no. In the beginning, and even now, I can't say no, and I'm booked for 2 years ahead of time, and it's been this way for almost 20 years. So I don't know what I'm doing in 2 years. And it's gotten to the point right now, I'm getting up there in age, that I have 6 grandchildren. I want to spend time with them. I want to write my new books, and I don't have time to do that. So what I'm saying now is, since I'm booked all the way till the end of 2025, till December, I said from that point on, I'll be on hiatus with appointments. I'll still be teaching classes, doing retreats. I teach at Omega and the ARE and Lilydale and so forth. But for this point on, I'd like to just take a hiatus from the one-on-ones, because I'd rather teach people how to do what I do. It's not that I'm the only one that's a psychic medium. We all are. And I just love to teach people, empower people to do that so they don't need me. That's
And
the best.
I love it. And maybe one day you can get people to agree to bundle up in groups of 5. So the 5 individuals become a group of 5 and they agree to, a more broader service arrangement. Who knows? Um, Omega Institute or a similar event that you've done frequently, what would you want to share with us what that's like? And is it one that people could still sign up for and attend in the future?
So I just recently did an Omega event. I'll be doing one at the end of October. That one's called Wisdom Beyond the Veil, and there's 4 of us talking about the afterlife and how to communicate with those who've passed, how to receive messages, signs, and so forth. Next year, I'll be doing 3 events at Omega, similar events like this. One is with Raymond Moody, talking about going through your life review, and we don't have to go through our life review after why do we have to wait to go through our life review? Why don't we do it now and create peace in our lives right here and now? And for those who don't know what a life review is, after we leave the physical body, we are able to see and feel how we've affected each person that we've encountered in our lives, as if we are the other person. So good, bad, or indifferent, we feel that, how we affected them. So oftentimes people come back and say, those who've had near-death experiences, or those who, through appointments, the deceased loved one say to the living loved one that they should have told them how much they love them, and now it's too late. They should have forgiven their loved one, and now it's too late. They should have asked for forgiveness for something that they did, and now it's too late. They should have treated themselves with the respect that they deserve, and now it's too late. And so now I say, why do you have to wait till it's too late? Do it now. See through the other person's eyes and create peace in your life right here and now. So that's one of the events that I'll be doing next year. And another event will be how to increase your intuitive abilities. So again, like I said before, I'd rather teach people how to do what I do rather than depending on me, because we all have these abilities. We just have to learn how to tap into these types of abilities.
Now, this has been a decent journey here with a lot of ebbing and flowing, or then a lot of flowing. Who's been a great influence for you, shot in the arm for confidence along the way? I mean, there are so many people out there who've been doing this in different forms, fashion, Don Miguel Ruiz, and then there's Eckhart Tolle and, Abraham Hicks, Long Island Medium, Teresa Caputo. But there had to have been somebody along the way. Tyler Henry, Hollywood Medium, is very funny and uplifting. Is there someone along the way, or a few of them, that you're always like, oh, thank goodness I got exposed to Wayne Dyer?
Well, it would be Wayne Dyer, I would think. I have been doing this for many years, but right after Wayne Dyer passed, through synchronistic events, his family was brought to me. I was on a bus going from the hotel to the conference center, and there was one seat available on the whole bus, and in walks Serena Dyer, one of his children, and he has 8 children and a wife. And I know we only have an hour, and that's a long story, but he didn't come through at that time, but he connected us. And right after that, I was connected with his other daughter, Sage, and eventually his wife, and yes, he was still married, to Marceline. Sage, Serena, and Sky came to see me they flew in from Florida to New Jersey, and he came through and gave each of them very specific messages that only they would know. And he also came through as a group consciousness. So he gave personal messages to them so that they would know it truly is him. And he came through as a group consciousness called the We Guides, which the We Guides are, it includes Wayne Dyer, St. Francis of Assisi, angels, ascended masters. And when they came through as a group consciousness, it was hard to differentiate Wayne Dyer from the rest of them because it was a group consciousness. And with that group consciousness, they came and gave 33 concepts to uplift humanity, because at that time a lot was going on, and it still is in this, so they gave, trying to uplift us, how to raise the vibration of the planet, how to, so we could create peace in our lives and in the lives of those around us as well.
Ooh, that leads right into the next question, which is how can we all daily walk like a smoother path, lighten up a little, share more love, allow for more love, basically let go of some of the details. We hold on way too long. We do a lot of stuff called thinking. Are there a few of the 33 points you can share, or are they already in line with what you would just answer, how you would answer directly for that question?
It's the 33 concepts. I had been already practicing most of them. We can't give what we don't have ourselves. So it begins with ourselves, with self-love. And that was one of the difficult things. I find a hard time, I still do have a hard time loving myself. It's always about giving to others. It's always about how may I serve? How may I serve? And oftentimes I am the last one. But Wayne Dyer, when he first started coming through, and I didn't know it was really him. I said, Wayne, if it's really you, give me a without a doubt sign to let me know it's you. But the first thing I was saying in my thoughts, I was saying, I am so insignificant. I am so insignificant. And I heard him for the first time, and he said, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way.
Mm.
And so I said, Wayne, if that's really you, I need a sign. So I continued to walk back to the hotel room. This is right after I met Serena. And I said, Wayne, how may I serve? He said, you're already serving. I said, how may I serve more? So I went back to the hotel room, and something was itchy in my shirt. So I reached in to see what it was. And there was a sticker that somehow attached itself to my shirt. It was not there before. And it was the letters W-E on it. At that time, I didn't know what the we consciousness was.
Mm.
If I had it, I'd show you right now, but I don't have it on me right now. I thought it meant Wayne, first letter, last letter of his name. So I knew without a doubt I was receiving a sign. And then I felt him, and he said, is that good enough? And I said, oh my God, it is. And later on, I found out through synchronistic events, meeting his family, going on walks with my dog, that it was the we consciousness that he was bringing to my attention. So that was a great sign.
Oh. Let's jump sideways. This is a tangent, but have you had I mean, you've had a lot of these moments, synchronicity, serendipity, you're walking down, uh, Bogota, is it? New Jersey, not that you live there, but you're in a town, 6 towns away from where you live in the middle of New Jersey or northern New Jersey. And a stranger says what you were just kind of asking to hear, but you turn
yeah.
gone. Or the car wreck thing, you hear about it all the time. Have you had one of those where you're sure the person you interacted with, sparkly eyes, was maybe an angel?
Absolutely. One that comes to mind is when my son, now he's my youngest son, but now he's 30, he's going to be 34 next week. He was 3 at the time. And I was at the supermarket, and all of a sudden we're on an incline. The cart was going down the hill, ready to go onto the main road. And I just said, Angel, stop that cart now. And the cart just stopped in the middle of the incline, just like that. And I turned to look at my son. He's so used to me talking about angels. I said, Tim, did you see that? And then I looked, and all of a sudden a person appeared out of nowhere. There was nobody there, and just smiled at me. And then I turned to look at Tim, and I looked back, and he was gone.
Oh.
And my son was so used to, and he still is used to me talking about angels. I said, Tim, did you see that? And he said, Ma, it was an angel, as if it was nothing. So that one came to mind when you asked that question.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, it's easy to forget. I mean, humans, we do too much of this thinking or whatever you want to call it. It's technically a lot of it a waste of energy, but it's okay. We're going to waste lots of energy. Thinking's not going away. How do we remember to remember, if we can remember to be in our heart? Is there anything you do before bed or when you wake up, or just to be like, hey, angels, I need something out of the ordinary. Shake me up here, sock it to me. I need more love. What do you do to spin that twister wheel?
There's so many things. First of all, I practice gratitude. First thing in the morning, 10 things that I'm grateful for, and I can't say the same things the next day or the next day. So it gets to a point where you have to be that I'm grateful for the bathroom mat and the air that I breathe and my eyes that I'm able to see and all of that. And I also meditate first thing in the morning. so that I could connect later on in the day. It's not during that time that I receive the messages. I meditate so that I could connect later on in the day. But oftentimes what I've been doing lately is I just say, show me and what you want me to do. And sometimes I don't know. I'm so into the mind. And sometimes we have to step away from the mind. We were talking about that before the show, is to just allow spirit to take us where we need to go.
Hmm. I love it. Oh, and here's a big picture question, kind of eternal in the last like 1,000 or 2,000 years. If we were having tea, these are the age-old questions we all want to ask. But hey, there's been a lot of talk about a shift in consciousness coming in maybe a decade plus ago, but now a lot of light, a lot more opportunity for us all to like lighten up a little bit. Can you give us your take on all that? And is it really just about lightening the load on your shoulders and relaxing more, breathing more, and doing a little more love?
It's a lot of everything, but I do feel a shift in energy on the planet. There's now, I don't know if you follow Patricia Cota Robles, but she's great. And she's been for so many years, I don't know, 40 years or something, channeling the angels, talking about this very moment, which happened 2 weeks ago, that there's a crystalline grid around the earth that's bringing in a higher consciousness. And I can attest to that fact. I feel it. I know it. From this point on, it's just going to be absolutely wonderful. People will become more intuitive, remember who we are, that we have God within us, and we could all create miracles in our lives and in the world around us as well. So
Well,
it's a wonderful time to be here on the planet.
Well, maybe we'll step off the beaten path because this is truly a unique show in that we at least blow sage. I've only forgotten twice because the guest was so interesting, and then twice it just wasn't going to happen. But most guests, at least off show, I blow sage or do other stuff, and then on show, tons of guests towards the end. We do all sorts of steps. We can get a subject from an angel that you know like the back of your hand, and we'll have them suggest something for you to talk about. First, a little bit of sage. This
Okay.
is Juniper Ridge out of California at most of the Whole Foods, I think, and it's a very steady Eddie stage, beautiful. But why settle for just sage? Not that it's not amazing smelling it when you can also have flowers and ocean. So I'll do what we did before the show: a triple tiered tiramisu, no calories, and some people start tasting it as I light it. If you're intuitive, you don't have to taste it. You can just smell it. Others are like, no, my schnoggen's never worked for the last year. You can still have angels bring it through your schnoggen. You'll be fine. Red-tailed hawk feather. You're already getting it, aren't you?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
smells like coconut.
I love it. And then that'll kind of count as checking the flower box. If you want to ask for more Maui in the air, or my microphone's above, so if I'm blowing, don't catch a little Maui breeze on your nose or your face, whatever you'll allow for.
Yeah,
Did you get a little Maui wind?
I did. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
I didn't do it. Blame angels, don't blame Canada. And maybe Wayne Dyer's helping us out. We're going to find out in a little bit. We'll ask him. And I'll do an angel named Joy. Hold her up. You can get a private answer, get a hug, and get a compliment about how much you really are just pure love. But then one topic from her for all of us, or something to share, if that's okay.
Sure.
And for folks at home, you can put your hand out and just feel the vibe. Treat her like a fireplace, but you're not going to get like fire, get electricity, get lots of love. And then ask for your own flower smell, and you spin the twister wheel. Whatever you can think to ask for, what will you allow for? And Karen, what are you getting from Joy? But make sure you get a good compliment, by the way, and how much love you are. And if your eyes do shut, ask her to show you how all the angels see you as light. So this way you go, holy smokes, holy cow, holy Toledo, and have them show you how they see you through your eyes when you're on and in your heart, how much light you are. And that would get us all sappy if we saw it. But it'll be beautiful. And then a practical and tactical topic for us all. What did she have for us?
She was asking that I was talking about how we can all connect with deceased loved ones, but I didn't mention how. So maybe I can bring up a little bit of that, how we can do it. All right. So should I do that?
Please?
Okay. Most people expect to hear a voice from their loved one or see an apparition of their loved one, but in reality, they're spirit. So when they come, they often speak to us telepathically as thoughts that just pop in our head for no reason. Okay, so notice the thoughts that you have that pop in your head about your loved one. So how do you tell the difference between your thoughts and the thoughts from them? Your thoughts will have an originating thought. Like, for example, you see a picture of your loved one that triggers a thought, that's you. But when they come to you, they'll just pop in your head, something they would have said or did, whatever, when they were here with you. So notice the thoughts that pop in your head for no reason. Also, ask them to come to you in a dream and to wake you up after the dream so you remember it. If you don't wake up after the dream, you'll just sleep the whole night and it'll just fly by. So when you have to know the difference between a true visitation from them and a dream from your subconscious. And here's the difference. A dream from your subconscious is not them. It may be scary, how they died, they're mad at you. That's not them. When they come to you, it feels magnificent. I've had dreams of my mom and my loved ones, and when they come often as the age they want to be remembered as, and so forth. So you have to know that, the difference between a true visitation or a dream from your subconscious. Sometimes you could hug them, feel their hairy arms. Sage Dyer, she had a dream of her dad, Wayne, right after he passed, and she hugged him, and she said she felt his hairy arms. So that's an indication it's a true visitation. And then the third way, thoughts, dreams, ask them to give you signs. They love to give, I call them without a doubt signs. Things that normally don't happen, happen. So you ask them, give me a sign to let me know you're with me. So you might find feathers, you might find coins. You may be driving and a car cuts you off and it's their name on it. And in other words, to pay attention. You might smell them, smell their perfume. The lights may flicker. Rainbow may appear when you're talking about them. There's so many different ways that they come to you. They want to talk to you as much as you want to talk to them. So be patient and wait, and the sign will come when you least expect it. So those are three ways: the signs, the dreams, and the thoughts. They're speaking to us telepathically.
That's totally beautiful. I loved it. Okay, an angel named Charlotte. What's one thing we could all do a little less of, from Charlotte to all of us, but also get something private, get a hug? Oh, and for folks at home, I put her up before. She's an angel who's everybody's favorite school teacher from childhood, third grade, third form, if you're in Canada, with words meant to help you expand. She's been around the block. And got it, Karen?
I do, but this is pretty incredible. You said our favorite third grade teacher, and just yesterday I had two clients from my son's favorite third grade teacher who passed away. It's funny you just said that. So she was incredible. Anyway, what we should do less of, what I got, was judging other people and judging ourselves. Less judgment.
I love that.
See through their eyes. Why? You may not agree with what they're doing, but don't judge. It hurts you.
Okay, an angel whose light waves of energy and water happens to be my guardian angel, but there's about 80,000 of us that have her. And her name's Min, like Minnesota, Lakota Sioux word for water. I'll skip the rest. But she's very oceany, Pacific princess. And anybody wants to catch ocean, do it. Get a little breeze, gust in the air. I always check my thermostat, check the windows are closed, because I still can't believe it today. And what's Min got for all of us?
I just saw the word faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
I love it. Archangel Michael's next. I got him two different ways. There's no one way with these photos. I even have to take 2 seconds. The last two angels who came up, they're on my book cover. Metallic balls of light, daytime shot. And there are faces in the balls. Here they are. There's no one way for the photographs. And that's Charlotte, the blue one, and then the whitish one is Min. And there's even a third way and a fourth way. It doesn't matter. But here's Michael, 2 different ways. Archangel Michael, and then one of the rainbow pie slices is Michael. That's Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. I'm going to pull those guys away. What's Michael got as a reminder for how we're all in it together, and a big kumbaya for how much love is coming down the pike?
Okay, so Michael's telling everybody he's taking away the negativity around us. So he's just, that's a good, wonderful, that's it. He's taking away all negativity around us.
I love that. And I'm going to do, with your permission, if I see St. Francis, I have a really old kind of picture painting.
Okay.
And we'll take 2 seconds on this. It's the one that I use. He's got a deer and a pigeon or a dove in it. I'm so close. I really wanted to find St. Francis when you said it because I didn't know you love St. Francis. And oh, here he is. Okay. So this is kind of cliche, but St. Francis is St. Francis.
Okay.
And if you want to hear birds singing in the room around you or chirping, you know, that light I don't know how to say this, bird noises that are really pleasant and cool. But then what St. Francis have also is a reminder for us all. And there is a deer in there. I was like, where's my deer? Got it okay?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
He's saying that all animals are part of who we are. We're all one, and animals are not separate from us. You know, oftentimes we think it's nature, animals are over there and we're over here. But after we leave the physical body, we'll feel that we are all one. So to treat each animal, and I'm talking about every single animal, even the insects, with the respect that we deserve, that we would treat as a human being, because they feel pain as well as that we do. So that's the bottom line. And also peace. He's just showing the word peace, increasing peace on the planet.
I love it. Okay, Wayne, I got to see him at, I never pronounced anything correctly, but Bass Hall at UT Austin, Texas, at their big concert venue. But he was on stage going back and forth, talking about stuff maybe a year or two before he passed. So it was a really special event. But here's Wayne. He's got a million reminders for us all. If he had to pick just one or two or three, what is he coming in with?
Yeah. Okay. So what he's coming in with now is assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So I think what he's saying is that we can manifest anything we wish in this planet. We just have to see the end result and feel it as if it's already achieved.
I love it. My problem is, my situation is, my drama is, or it's this way, or I'm judging to the preclusion of possibility, neck up. Down below, let yourself go, flow a little bit, let the universe do its job. Wayne, angels, and everybody. Okay, Audrey Hepburn, she wasn't on the dance cue card thing, but she is now. This is a photograph of Audrey, an angel. Let her wink, smile, move, eyebrow goes up, catch an uninvented perfume in the air from Paris that rocks you. But meanwhile, what's Audrey got? She's half grace, half sparkle in the moment. What's she got for you or for us? Because you're doing a beautiful job, Karen. Thank you for doing all this.
Okay. You know, basically what she's saying is that you are loved, that to understand that you are loved and you are loved, if that makes sense, but that's the way she's coming through.
I love it. Thank you. And I'll put a photo of my parents. One passed in 1970 when I was 2. It was his time to go. F-4 Phantom fighter crash off of Naples, Italy at night. Black Aces Squadron off the USS Roosevelt. 28 years later, they put him into Arlington Cemetery, full military honors, front page of the Washington Post. It was a mouthful. My mom passed when I was turning 23. They show in their 20s together. Hundreds of people have gotten to see them, chat with them. No big deal. They're sweeties. Here's Mike and Barb, or Mike Sr., my dad, Michael Andre Ford Sr. and Barb. They're reconciled, not angels, but, you know, good tips. Do they have one final reminder for us all?
Yes, they want you to know, as well as everyone else, when they've lost a loved one, that it was their time. You may say he was taken too soon, but it was truly, when you understand that this life is not all there is. We think it is when we're here in the physical body. We think the worst thing that could possibly happen is if we pass, but they're saying that's not the way it is. This is not all there is. And it was their time to pass. It seems terrible, you know, even when a child passes, or a mother of, like, your mom had to raise you after your father died, and you say, how could that be your dad's time? But they're saying it was. And after we leave the physical body, we will see that it was perfect time.
And he knew he was
Here we don't
going early.
understand.
He had told her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, we'll leave that as it is. How about one last, we're not doing any more photos or anything like that, but here's Joy. If you don't mind cupping your hands like you're in the shower getting water and let pink
Okay.
light come in, but you might as well get all the other angels, Wayne Dyer, St. Francis, ask for even more angels to pile, one big angel pile on in your hands. They're not going to go to the floor. It's just light, lots of love and sparkle, and you can start feeling a lot of pizzazz going on, like a whole jazz group playing right now. If you want to hear jazz music, do it. But when you're ready, open your eyes, look down, and see a lot of light, bring it into your heart. And then a big reminder that that's bringing to you for all of us, because this is one big kumbaya love fest, but it's got to be Karen Noé's words.
They're saying that we're all one. And it seems like you're over there and I'm over here and the animals over there and the plants are over there. But whatever we do to ourselves or another affects everyone. So treat yourself with respect and treat others with respect. It changes the world. You can make an impact on the world.
And even if you've got bad blood with someone you're not supposed to be talking to and everything else, you're at least, it doesn't mean you have to hang out with them or start a new business with them tomorrow. You can just grant a little bit of grace into the whole situation. It's real easy to get fixed perspective for decades at a time. Welcome to being human.
That's what Wayne Dyer used to say, the saying, it's not the snake bite that kills us, it's the venom that's left behind. So it's true. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you're only hurting yourself.
Okay, I'm going to give you like 3 or 4 definitions of compassion from angels, Jesus, somebody. Do you mind taking it from there on? I mean, there's a trillion definitions of compassion. I think we're never done learning. Some of us never even get started for 10 years at a pop. We always do the same thing. We're stuck or we know what we know. But here's 3 or 4 definitions. Jesus said compassion's open eyes and an open heart. Raphael said compassion is releasing fears and judgments. Abe said compassion is not judging, taking action with no thought. And one last one from an angel named Mac. Don't call her Mackenzie. Compassion is treating every moment with the awareness of a newborn baby.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. And so reaction, or just where's it take you for talking about how it's all about a little more love, kindness, compassion?
Well, compassion is trying to see through the other person's eyes, as we were talking about before, to understand where that person is coming from and to have compassion, to have the love. That's all we are, is love. After we leave the physical body, that's what we will feel, that love. So if we could feel that now, you'll create happiness in your life and in the lives of others around you as well. So
And can you remind us again that we're not alone?
we are absolutely not alone. There are angels. We have guardian angels. There are archangels. Guardian angels are only our angels. The archangels could be in more than one place at one time. So if you call upon, say, Archangel Michael, he could be in more than one place. We're not taking him away from somebody else. Our loved ones who've passed can be with us too. It's a technicality in the words. They're not an angel. I would call them spirit guides and so forth. We have ascended masters, God. And let's take it a step further. Do you believe in life on other planets?
Me? Yeah, the whole galactic thing has exploded since March of 2024 when some of the angels, she's more cosmic. Archangels are obviously clearly cosmic, kind of like light beings. But
Yes.
Charlotte was the one who started that whole snowball turning into an avalanche. She said her background's Orion as an origin story. An angel today. This one's serious, not trying to be too serious, but there's an angel named Dale who's Andromeda. There's
There
a
you
one
go.
Mac Pleiades. So, whoa, whole new can of worms. But I mean, I'm shocked it shifted a little.
This is important, actually. I feel I have to talk about this, is that they are with us too. And, they're afraid when they hear aliens. I always get mad when I hear that. Aliens, they're more part of us than anything else. They're not aliens. There's good and bad to everything. Of course, there may be, lower energy vibrations from other dimensions. But if you're not vibrating on that same vibration, if you're not vibrating at the same level of consciousness, you won't feel that negativity. You'll only feel positivity. I always tell people, when you turn on the light, the darkness goes away. So we have, I call them extra celestials with us, as well as angels. I don't like to call them aliens.
Extra celebs. Extra
Yes,
celebs. There we go.
that's it.
Well, that's a big one, and that's something I've been tiptoeing around. If I talk to somebody with an amazing amount of India expertise, it's very sacred, very cultural, but then I'm shocked because they're like, oh, yeah, no, the universe, cosmos, they're like, it's wide open. And actually, all of the stuff I've been studying allows for all that all along. So it's actually, for that one person I'm thinking of, totally wasn't a big deal. They're like, no, it's a really big universe.
Oh,
And
in the
yeah.
sky. I mean, it's crazy to think we're the only life, maybe life as we know it, but
Did you ever get your kind of galactic background? I'll be the first, and you don't have to share yours out loud. But did
yeah.
you already get told where you sort of might have had like some?
Yeah.
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 You don't have to say it out loud, but I'll say mine out loud only because
Okay.
she volunteered it, and it's
Okay.
mostly Pleiades, some Andromedan, and some Sirius. But I always mix up Sirius and Orion, so I have to write it down. It's written down. But people can meet. I've got a Pleiadian, an Arcturian, a Lyrian. I didn't know Lemurians existed or Atlanteans until like it was 2024. Whoops. Again, it's always changing. Fairies exist.
Oh,
Uh,
fairies as well. Absolutely.
there's a fairy
Absolutely.
named Ginger. Tinkerbell exists. Took me 6 months to get over that. Okay, but what's the bigger point? Let's do this briefly. There's the whole UAP UFO disclosure stuff that's got to go on at a societal thinking level. It's sort of like watching chess pieces move around endlessly and there's no end to the game. But
Right.
how is it bigger than this? It's kind of always been here. It's more about love. Can you do the Karen Noé patented
Yes.
bigger picture?
Because they don't need, not all extra celestials need a UFO. They're here, they're spirit. They don't need a physical object. That's when we're concerned with physicality, but most of them are not. They're here, they're helping us. Some people are not from here. They don't remember that, but you could tell they're different and so forth. I have lots of stories, but
Sure. Well, hey, Charlotte showed up at a Starbucks in Northwest Austin,
um,
just in Santa Fe, New Mexico, garb, white outfit, turquoise jewelry, totally stood out. And Austin's kind of like a mix of 20 different crowds, tech,
yeah,
cowboys, you name it. But she stood out. She was sipping coffee facing the wrong way. I'm meeting with my book editor. I'm like, why is this elegant woman in her 50s just staring? Now, I asked the important questions, not who killed JFK, but when angels in human form are here, do they drink the coffee? Her answer was yes. With that, here's our very last act before we start to wind this up. You're going to close this out. You've only done this a million times. You've been on a million shows. You've hosted. You've done events, everything else. So you know how to close this out on this stuff. Can we let the angels arm wrestle, even a Pleiadian, whoever, Michael, St. Francis, Mary, anybody, or maybe two or three? Which couple of ones want to show up here? I'm leaning over for a reason. We've done this on other shows, and I've even had three panelists at once do joint seeing. So you're off the hook, Karen, and we already kind of did this before. Who is coming in, and what do you see right now? And then what's their reminder for all of us?
they're coming through as a group consciousness. They're coming as the we guides. So
And
it's hard
you're
to
seeing
differentiate.
Sting?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yes.
hard to differentiate who's here. It's the we guides, as I was saying before. St. Francis, it's up my. I said Michael Jackson. I don't know why I said Michael Jackson. What the heck? Wayne Dyer. Wow, is he part of that? Um, Maybe not. Maybe it was part of my subconscious. But that's what I feel is whatever happens, whatever thought comes, it's a part of who's coming through. Um, they're coming as a group consciousness, telling us that each one of us can make a difference. We don't have to wait for somebody else to create peace in the world.
Hmm.
It's up to us. We are part of the whole. And as I said before, whatever we do to ourselves or another, it affects everyone. And we're all miracle workers. The only difference between a miracle worker and one who's not is that the miracle worker knows that they are. So reclaim your power. Reclaim your power.
Can I whoosh you three times? By that, I mean, we're going to each put a hand up, connect love and above. So down
Okay.
here. And that means not my bill paying side, just love. And then angels will do the whooshing part. It'll be rainbow light your way. I'll whoosh as if there's a ping pong ball three different times, low, medium, and high. You'll feel what you feel and just relate it to us. But here's Michael to give it the good housekeeping seal of thumbs up approval. And okay, so I'm going to put my hand up. If you don't mind, in New Jersey, I'm in Texas. I used to live in New Jersey and New York for a long time. What do you feel first? A little bit of vibe right now?
I feel peace. What I don't understand what it is, but
Oh,
it's funny. I see a blank screen and they're just showing me rainbows, like all different colors.
and here comes the first whoosh. If you want, you can
I
feel
already see it.
four
Yeah.
different ways: up your back, up your front.
Okay.
It is what it is. But catch a little Maui. I'll blow through that microphone and try to make a wind sound. Here we go. Catch a little bit of, we'll call it light, rainbow light, whooshing. And did you get that A-okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in one or two words for me, Karen, what'd you get?
Beautiful colors.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
The second one, if you don't want
Really.
one medium, the third is going to be for you. Like you gotta teach something later, or you got a long week ahead, or you got that weekend thing, and you're like, make sure you get extra to go, wind in your sails for the future. But here's the medium one. People at home, do something, loosey goosey, shake your hips like Chubby Checker or Elvis, and let go. Here it comes. Was that a little bigger, a little different?
Yeah, I just saw the word now, so I think they're telling us to focus on the present time, on now.
Love it. Okay,
Yeah.
last one. Go big, go home. You're in the middle of a beautiful background there. I love that. All the flowers. So let's go big. And why don't you get extra flowers in the air? You might already start getting it right now. It kind of sucks being hyper intuitive like you are. You're gonna get it like before I can even do it. So here we go. Here comes the angels whooshing you. Don't blame me. Blame angels. Don't blame Canada. Here's a lot of rainbow light and a little bit of Hawaii, if that's okay. And Karen, how was that?
It was good. I just see, I don't know if it would be millions, but I see lots of angels all around our planet, just surrounding our planet. That's a good thing.
Totally a good thing. We are truly wrapping it up, but I am looking for one last photo. There's nothing to do with it. I'm just going to put it up as a reminder of how much love we have around us. This was at a concert in Austin around 2014. It's not raining, and you can see joy in the center. And there's a lot of angels. It's a high vibe. It was Two Door
Wow.
Cinema Club or M83 out of France. And, concert's a concert, but there's balls of light by people, their necks all the way up top. Again, not raining, not humid. It wasn't one of those things. And I did ask one of those big picture questions. If everybody had a camera and was taking a shot, they said 2/3 or 1/3 could get it, but they had to be here. So you just got to let go and be here more. With that, Karen, close us out on how everything matters about being in your heart more daily. What do you got for us?
To remember that we're love and we are very intuitive beings. We just have to raise our vibration so it's more on par with the energy of who we really are, which is love. So forgive people, see through other people's eyes, and be there for others as well. So when you raise your vibration, so it's more on par with who you really are, that's where the angel's vibration is. And that's where your loved one's vibration is, extra celestials. Because if you're trying to connect with 1300 FM and you're tuned to 3200 AM, I hope you're following me, you won't get it. So you have to be more on par with the energy of who they are in order to connect better with them.
I
So
love
remember
this.
who you are and raise your vibration to who you really are.
Karen Noé. I think people picked up in your vibe during this show. Thank you so much for being on Angels, Positivity, and Love. You totally rock. And maybe we'll have you back someday. I really, really enjoyed you being on the show.
Love it. Thank you. Had a good time.